everything gets put on hold. I fixed Jedi Academy, and since every year is a Star Wars year, I'm gonna play it. Now, first things first, in the main menu you can see the little Death Star window panning down to a planet, which is actually a part of the cinematic intro to this game, but we're gonna get to that. That's what I wanted to mention before I dive into the story about this game and the things I went through. So of course, Jedi, which is normal. Yeah. That seems to be correct. Now, Saber for now is whatever, because I'm gonna change it anyway. And begin. Oh yeah, I'm gonna try to read you the title scroll, because last time, the first time I uploaded anything, the first video with the scroll was copy struck. So maybe I'll try to avoid that a little bit. Yes. Again, we didn't watch the beginning splashes or splash screens because they're broken because I changed the resolution. Anyway, Jedi Knight, Jedi Academy. 10 years after the Battle of Endor, the Imperial Remnant continues to be driven back by the New Republic, forcing the Imperials to adopt increasingly desperate tactics in the ongoing struggle. Not anymore, because we've got episode 7. Meanwhile, Jedi Master Luke Skywalker moves to restore the Jedi to their former place as peacekeepers of the galaxy at his Jedi Academy on Yavin 4. Not anymore, we've got episode 8, and he's a bitch, or a dumbass anyway. Jaden Korr, a promising student from Coruscant, is en route to the Academy after achieving the impossible, creating a lightsaber without any formal Jedi training. How did he accomplish that, actually? That's what I want to know. Oh yes, oh no, I thought the cinematic would be flipped from what you saw in the main menu, but isn't, so that's nice. Hopefully everything's working fine. Yeah.
We'll be arriving at the Academy in just a few minutes.
Thank you, Mr. Rebel. The pilot still has their Rebel helmet, and he's just a courier. So he just sends people to the Academy.
Aren't you excited? We're going to be Jedi! Learning the ways of the Force, building a lightsaber? Ah, of course, you already have one.
Oh yeah, I could have.
I'm gonna get one of those stupid training sabers and
I wouldn't worry about that.
I can't help it. I want to make a good impression.
You seem really nervous.
Aren't you? I mean, well, why would you be? You already have a lightsaber, so you're probably way ahead of me. I'm Rosh, by the way.
I'll go to my personal space.
What's your name?
Jaden.
So where'd you get that lightsaber?
Well, it's kind of a long story. I found myself on...
Hold on!
Ah!
Yeah, so anyway, good start. Clearly, the character is not keen on, well, being friends with Rosh. I mean, after all, well, later on, I mean, we'll see why. Yes.
Academy to Yavin Runner 2. Do you copy?
Loud and clear. We made an emergency landing several clicks west of the Academy.
Is everyone all right?
I think so.
Good. We'll send a shuttle to pick you up. Can you lead the students to the nearby Masasi Temple?
Affirmative, Academy. We'll meet you there.
If you pay close attention here, you'll notice that this character, Alora, was clipping through the wall. That's a very nice touch. It's actually a long jump use of the Force, specifically.
We can't get to you. Make your way to the temple. The shuttle will meet us there.
Jaden, hey! I'm stuck! Can you help?
Hold on, Rosh.
Hello.
I'm on my way.
Wavy wave. Anyway, finally.
Jade, see if you can make your way around there.
Right. Now we've got a moment. So first off, First thing is cheats. Now, back then, I mentioned it before, cheats or console commands. See, what is it? Yes and now. What did I fuck up? That's the wrong saber. Oh, now I know. It's the other way around with the words. There we go. That's a nice one. So first off, in the main menu, you might have noticed that it looks a little bit different than usual. It's because I've got a tons of mods. And what I got here is a saber that I found back when Filefront was still up, which I found pretty, but it was not available in the main menu when creating new game, so you have to cheat it in. So I'm gonna every time, really. And I remember this game crashing because of it, because like console says up there, I'm not gonna scroll it, of that there is like 2 instances where the saber doesn't have an image or something like that, and that might be crashing the game, but I'm not sure. It works fine enough usually. So yes, that. Also, Jaden, of course, is wearing a little bit different clothes than usually. I like those, I found them too. And yes, what's the whole problem? The whole issue is that... oh, there's a med pack, in case you already broke yourself. Is there anything underneath here? No, there's an invisible wall. Perfect. So everything gets put on hold because I fixed this game. After...
maybe you can use your lightsaber to cut those trees down and make a bridge.
Maybe, Rush. Or maybe you'll just shut the fuck up. Oh, yeah, interesting little touch.
Maybe you can use your lightsaber to cut those
Thank you.
trees
Anyway.
down and make a bridge.
So, right now I've got no force powers. I'm pressing buttons that usually correspond to force powers.
Maybe you can use your lightsaber to cut those trees down and make a bridge.
I don't even have force jump, yet I am force sensitive, which we'll learn later. We'll get the basics force powers to use, but right now I'm not even able to channel the force powers to jump up. Also, I was able to build the lightsaber, and that's why I was admitted to the academy. And if anyone else would be able to build it, because it's really mechanical, it's not that it's sort of magic, it's just a well-guarded secret. If anyone else was able to build it and didn't have any force potential, would they be admitted too? And would they just gain powers?
Maybe you can use your lightsaber to
Maybe
cut
I
those trees
could.
down and make a bridge.
Oh, it's time you go over. That's nice.
Thanks, Jaden. Let's get to the temple.
Yeah, so first thing, HUD looks a little bit different. So does the data pad. But what's very important and very interesting is that they actually added an entire move tab to see how to perform a move and how it looks. Also, you can already scroll and browse through things. Acrobatics. Oh, anyway, I know them. There's no need to start. Yeah, transfer for ghoul models. Anyway, is that today? Yes, that is. Already back, so
Thanks,
maybe it
Jaden.
won't crash this time.
Let's get to the temple.
But I'll use more quick saves. That'll be interesting. Alright, on the fly repairs, man. I think it turns out it wasn't that something. See, I remember fixing it back then with some edit of something that you actually did, that you actually could increase the memory available for this game. But since I reinstalled everything, that's why I didn't want to reinstall everything, because I had console commands and other things, codes changed so that the game works correctly. So the solution was right now that you download and open. Fuck. It was going so well. That you download. Oh, that's the thing. That you download and open Jedi Knight. Again, a different thing. Open Jedi Knight mod that's changed to the source code itself. That seems slow and unresponsive. Change that. I'm sure that's better. I'm sure that's better. Let's not dwell on it. We're playing the game. I'm fucking hell bent on actually playing this game, fixing it and playing it for you and for myself. So yes, there's another mod I just downloaded to fix that issue, and it seems to be working, so that's fine. I still am gonna have to actually check if the multiplayer crashes because of all the detailed things.
Must be a way to open this.
No problem.
Well, anyway, it works, so I guess it's fine. Also, even though Jaden has no other force powers, oh, come on now, there we go. Full skill power up, come on. Although Jaden doesn't exhibit any force powers, he actually still can throw the lightsaber and has force meter. So there you have that. And also, what I wanted to mention is that the game didn't crash when you threw the lightsaber at the haulers. So that's a weird bug, that's a weird error.
Hey, maybe you can use your saber to make another bridge.
How about I'll jump on you some more, you dipshit? Look at this. This never happened before. So yes, how about you go eat a dick, hmm? How do you like that, bitch? God damn it. And I wanted to make... Oh man. So yes. Oh, the bridge technically is already here, because I'm walking on it right now. Fuck it.
Great, let's go.
Well, that's the wrong bridge, too. Good. Proving myself wrong at every step. Heard another hauler here. There it is. I'm gonna wait for him to stop hauling so I can stab it with a saber. Because I was missing and I feel incompetent, so I need to boost my ego. Yes, so I reinstalled the game. The game wasn't working. After I fired up... after I was done with Jedi Outcast... Oh, listen to this. That's a Massassi temple. Massassis are related to Sith. And Sith were here first.
There's stormtroopers in the clearing.
Ah, shit.
Maybe you should, check it out.
Me?
You're the one with the lightsaber, after all.
So first thing, I don't know if the subtitles don't work only in this specific cutscene, or are they disabled by the mod right now. I don't know if... Good job, good job. No. There we go, that was easy. Just jump on them. This is a reborn, a new reborn now, compared to the ones from Jedi Outcast. I'll never get to the things I want to say. So it's not going to be a shorter episode. I launched this game to see if it works after I was done with Jedi Outcast. And what I noticed is that in the cinematic, in the shuttle, no character loaded. Not the pilot, not the NPCs, not Rush, not Jaden. So, well, that's wrong. But the multiplayer worked. Amazingly enough, and it worked well.
Who are you?
Kyle Katarn, at your service. Welcome to a day in the life of a Jedi.
What happened?
We were kind of hoping you could tell us.
I saw
What
a
happened
huge flash
there?
of light and ran over to find you, just lying unconscious.
Oh, that animation.
Do you
Oh,
recall
jeez.
anything?
I saw 3 people. One was holding some sort of scepter and it was glowing. That's all I can
It
remember.
was glowing.
Scepter. That sounds bad.
Glowing? That sounds
able to
even
stand?
worse.
Yeah, I'm okay.
I sense a disturbance in the Force.
You always sense a disturbance in the Force.
Casting shade.
I sense it too. It could just be residual dark side aura from this temple.
Perhaps. Kyle, why don't you...
Stay here and investigate? I'd love to. Why don't you take the kids back home now?
Be careful, Kyle. Everyone, follow me to the shuttle.
I think that was Luke Skywalker. I can't believe it.
The guy whole galaxy knows about. And also that he advertises his own academy with his own name. And that he says that you will meet him. I
Did
assume.
you recover Skywalker's records? Yes. With all the Jedi in the jungle, it was almost too easy. Excellent.
Almost, but not quite. Also, you could have heard that in the
I'd like
Lambda
to welcome all our
Shuttle,
new students to the Jedi
there was
Academy.
birds
Here we will train you in the
chirping
ways of the Force.
in
You will learn
space.
to defend yourself
Think
with a
about that.
lightsaber. You will also study diplomacy, history, and more. It has
Diplomacy
been
is
the
a good
practice
thing.
of the Jedi to assign each student to a master. However, since there are still so few of us, we will be assigning multiple students to one master.
History is pretty not my thing, really.
So, Raltheron, you will be assigned to Master Horn.
I can't wait to begin my training.
Rosh Panin, you will be assigned to Master Katarn. Jaden Korr, you'll also work with Master Katarn. Now, let's begin with your first lessons. And may the Force be with
I'm
you.
pretty sure Luke skipped like
And there was
6
nothing.
people.
But the area around the temple felt strange, like its dark side aura was gone.
Troubling. But let's look into this later. Your students are ready to get started.
Master Katarn, it's an honor to be serving under you.
First off, just call me Kyle. Titles make my skin crawl. Secondly, you're not serving under me. I'm going to teach you, and you're going to learn. That's it.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to offend you.
Don't worry, Rosh, you didn't. I've been offended by professionals. Now, let's see what you two kids can do. Follow me to the training grounds.
So yeah, either Luke deliberately went around everyone, well, went around Josh, no, Jaden and Rosh, or
This is one of the many training grounds here at the Academy. I'm going to put you two in separate courses. When you're ready, Jaden, go through that door. Rosh, follow me.
go through that door, which is what? Which is which door? Right. Yes, indeed, the subtitles were disabled, and also I changed a couple of things because every mod, well, not every, the open source thing requires its own setup file, so that didn't work, so I had to fix it. Yeah, a perfect rendition of shadows on your faces and things like that. That's realistic. So yeah, the door for us is this one, since the only one is the one that they're gonna go through. So yeah, I had lots of things in the consoles and in the files, so uninstalling it was a problem. It was a problem for me. Oh
This
jeez.
course will familiarize you with your core Force abilities. These are powers that every Force user has. As you progress in your training, you will learn new abilities. Both the light and dark sides will be open to you. Remember, abilities are not inherently good or evil. It's how you use them. Every Jedi is naturally stronger in different areas of the Force, and it will be up to you to decide what to focus on. All right, let's get
Oh,
started.
that's how it looks
In
like.
the next area, you'll find some training remotes. These will help you learn how to handle a lightsaber. Ready?
Ready? Ready.
That's not better. Anyway, so since all the cinematics and dialogue distracts me so much, I'm gonna stand here and I'm gonna talk about the game. Was Luke deliberately walking around Jaden and Rosh and telling everyone who's gonna get assigned to who, and then leaving leaving Rosh and Jaden for the end to tell them for dramatic tension? Or did he deliberately skip a bunch of students so he can have his dramatic speech to the main character? As first thing. Second thing is that my mind was blown when the game was coming out. You could have you were able to choose your character customize it, and it wasn't like an RPG where you could when it's a part of the course. So I was blown away. You could have changed suits, you could have changed colors, you could have changed species, even gender. You can play as man or a woman. Amazing, amazing. And then based on all those options, other characters are created to fill the world randomly. Well, randomly created or randomly generated to fill the world. Like for instance in the shuttle and around Masasi Temple with all those NPC. I played this game over and over deliberately so that I can see a bunch of different characters in the world randomly generated by the game. This game was a breakthrough. It was amazing. It was fantastic. And then it broke on me, right? So I fired up after Outcast and I don't know what to do. I try. Only recently I sat down and organized the mods I had in the base folder, because maybe it's some interference between mods, even though I didn't change anything in the game. So I swept some onto, well, I compared the mods that I've got in the base folder with the ones that I've got in a separate folder for mods with the zip files. So I knew which ones I do have and which one I have to keep or can't delete, because I won't be able to retrieve them anymore, because the site that I got all the mods from is defunct now. The entire server, all the file front is gone now. Well, I'm doing so well. The entire file front is gone, and it was my pastime. After coming home, I was firing up all the internet, and the pages I browsed was mods for Jedi Academy. I was mostly interested in like skins, hilts, and cool maps for multiplayer. But I did look at them.
Too, Jaden. Your lightsaber is an invaluable tool. Even when inactive, it can defuse a potentially volatile situation. Trust me on that. As you train, you'll learn additional fighting styles. Changing styles during combat can surprise your opponent, allowing you to gain the upper hand.
It doesn't work like that at all in the game.
Via comlink in each area. Let's move on.
So I decided to actually reinstall the game. I deleted the old files, I put in the new one, deinstalled the game, and first mod I decided to install that's like kind of significant and changes a lot was Jedi Academy Plus. I installed that, fire up the game, and it crashes. So now I'm wondering what the fuck is wrong with Jedi Academy Plus. It turns out that the first thing I forgot is to actually install the patch for the game.
It shouldn't be a problem. If you fall, jump back up to the bridge and try again.
Now, this is the option I can see in this open source thing, which is that it actually does have it actually does have subtitles for all voiceovers. Dude, you just clip the sword through the fucker and it deals no damage at all. It was always like that, by the way. So then I installed some mod that I did have but I never used, but I had it, so I installed it, and then got all the other things. Oh yeah, good thing that reminded me. And then I installed all the other things and they worked, so I was dumbfounded. Right, because why did the game broke? Now, you just saw me jump over this ravine and you heard Kyle talking about how these are the basic Force powers available to all Force users, all Force sensitive people. And yet you weren't able to use them in the most prologiest missions. Baffles the mind. Great writing, I don't know.
You'll have to use push to get out of here and into the next area.
Push. There we go. Look at this asshole.
Hey, Jaden, this should keep you busy till I finish the course.
So yeah, Roche releases a droid on us. What you want is speed. I'm not gonna make that mistake ever again. No, that went well. Like an asshole, because he thinks that, oh, that's an option. You couldn't cancel speed in Outcast in single player, I think, but you could in multiplayer. And then they made it available in single in Academy. All the improvements, really good game. I'm telling you, aside from the missing of the holders and shit like that. And all this fucking spontaneous breaking too. So he released a droid and we'll hear about it soon enough. But what was I saying? Yes, I wasn't able to use the forces and then also the mods. So I told you that I'd make it, I'm pretty sure I did tell you about Jedi Outcast, that it doesn't run in panoramic, although it's possible to force it. So I wanted to force this game to run in panoramic too, because I can. So I wrote the appropriate config file, and then it turned out...
What took you so long, Jaden?
Nothing.
You're sure?
It was nothing.
To get to the next area, you must pull the lever somewhere in the room. But you can't reach the lever with your hands. Remember to examine your environment carefully. When you're out on a mission, if you find a locked door, look for the guy in charge. He usually has a key.
Good advice. Accurate on that. On top of that. Somewhere in the room, and you can't reach it with your hands. You know, simple people like, you know, us would look for tools to reach the lever, like a rope or a stick. But, you know, you're a Jedi, so... fuck that. Oh. That's gonna be problematic. Yes, and then I installed that... No. Then I had the thing running for widescreen, but it didn't work
Solutions
for...
to problems aren't always obvious. Use your forced sense to see if you can find a way out of the room.
Yes, I can. I put the appropriate config in, and single player was working just fine. Aside from... it's magic, don't ask me. Single player was working just fine, but then multiplayer crashed. So now I'm fucking lost for words. I don't know what to do with myself. Now, first time I launched it after a massive break, single player didn't work, but multiplayer did. Now I'm launching it, and multiplayer doesn't work, but single player does. So what am I supposed to do about that? Of course, you go to the internet and look for a solution. And I actually did find a solution. Fortunately, turns out you download some exe file, the executive, you know, and it's not so much a crack, I don't think, but it doesn't make the game run correctly. I don't know what wizardry is that, so, you know, that made it work, finally. And then I'm playing around, you know, to see if everything works. Then I check for the mod, because I don't have a label for the mod that I'm using right now with the sword, with the saber. So I don't know what to do about that. I remember that you couldn't select it in the new game options, and you had to cheat it in.
You're almost done. You'll need to move fast in this next area.
You gotta go Sonic.
Use the Force to speed up, both physically and mentally, allowing you more time to make decisions.
Yes, indeed. So just to open the other, so I can just stand here and keep them open, I think. Yeah, like that. It's either or. Either. So I installed that. I played around. I remember that you have to cheat it in, so I was looking for like command consoles, console commands to change saber hilts. They weren't working. I actually managed to find the mod on the internet, even though the file front is defunct, and it did have its readme, so I did read it and I learned how to put it in, and then I ran around and threw the saber at the howlers, and that worked, so I was confident it's gonna work. And then this happened, and then some Ghoul 2 fucking trash heap pile on server is too small, do something, hotfixing on the fly during DLP, talking about mod of it, go Sonic. That's good enough. Finding the solutions. And now finally getting to play the game the way it's meant to be played. Which is my way. So that's that. Oh yes, through here? Oh, through somewhere. This should be the... Oh, yes? No? This should be the end? Oh, there it is. Oh, man. This game's gonna give me a heart attack. I just thought another thing in the game broke. So yeah.
So, did I win?
It wasn't a competition.
I'm sorry,
Now listen.
I'm not the one you should be apologizing to.
It's no big deal. You said yourself this wasn't a competition.
Hey, it was just a joke. I didn't think it would...
If that droid was set to Luke's training regimen, it would have killed Jaden. What were you thinking?
Jaden, I'm so sorry. I can't believe I mean, I wasn't trying to...
Save it, Rosh.
Jaden, you have a right to be angry. But believe me when I say you don't want to feed that emotion.
I understand, Master Katarn. Apology accepted, Rosh.
Good, that's settled. And remember, it's Kyle?
Yes, Kyle.
Sure thing, Kyle.
Okay. You're both ready to start putting what you've learned to use.
What you've
See what
learned.
you do in the real world.
Getting too cozy, bitch.
Kyle, I did some research on that strange mark from the clothing we found at the temple. It is the symbol of AAARGH, a Sith Lord that died almost 5,000 years ago.
5,000 years? Are you serious? Oh, wait. Of course you're serious.
While you're out training your students, be on the lookout for information regarding a group affiliated with Ragnos.
Sure thing, Luke.
Marker
We've received
Ragnos.
countless requests for assistance from all over the galaxy. Since we believe in learning by doing at the Academy, students of all levels help with these requests. Since you're an initiate, however, Kyle will travel with you on most of your missions in order to instruct you and ensure your safety.
That's kind of not true. That means that Kyle's gonna be out of the picture so that you can actually play the game. That's one thing. The other thing is that mission complete and all these statistics are just purely informative. You're not being graded on anything, which is great. I mean, I can't even begin to tell you how shit it is that game grades you like that, like Japanese games do. And something was interrupted I was talking about? I think not. Or maybe I'll remember in the next episode. So yeah, this is the galactic map. So you're no longer linearly. It's not linear anymore. You're not progressing in a straight line. You can choose one of the 5, and also it's advised that you choose all of them, or at least I advise you to choose all of them, because during each you get to upgrade one of the 4s. So we're gonna go top to bottom because why not? Yeah, so let's read it quickly. We've been receiving a number of reports that disciples of Ragnos, we already know the affiliation group, have been trying to hire mercenaries and smugglers to haul some cargo. If we can contact one of these mercenary groups, maybe we can find out the cold space of operation. One of the smuggling rings that we know about is based at Mos Eisley. Rings a bell? Go there and see what you can find out. Oh, so that'll be that mission. And...
This one sounds like it could be nasty, so I'll be going with you. You'll find some of the galaxy's worst lowlifes on Tatooine.
yes, like Luke. And Vader. It's not that it could be nasty so you're going with me, it's that I'm an initiate so you're going with me whether you like it or not. The gameplay is gonna stay the same. See, screens allow you set the maximum rank and power upgraded, the core ones return upgraded power. Huh? Yes, you can take the point away until you click 2 weapons. Yeah. So I'm going with... What am I going with? Lightning, because that's effective right away. And there you go. Now you're sure. And you can't go back, you can click help. And I want the distractor rifle. Well, that's pretty shit because they're both using power cells. And so they're gonna be share in the ammo. But you're gonna pick up the rudimentary things like E11 anyway. And thermal detonators are the most useful and most common, so picking them up is like kind of a ass choice really. But they're most useful, so why not? Might as well begin the mission.